Mesa, Arizona, June 4, 2008. The sun was a merciless predator, its glare clawing through the blinds of a stucco house on East Queensboro Avenue, casting jagged shadows that danced like specters on the walls. Inside, Travis Alexander stood in his shower, steam curling around him like a shroud, water hissing as it struck his skin. Each drop a tick of a clock running out. The desert outside was a silent conspirator, its air thick with heat and secrets, the cacti standing sentinel, their spines glinting like knives in the unrelenting light. A camera's shutter snapped in the gloom, its cold lens a predator's eye, wielded by Jodi Arias, her breath shouting, her gaze a storm of obsession and vengeance. Once his lover, now his executioner, she stood cloaked in shadow, her heart a coiled serpent ready to strike. In moments the tiles would scream with blood, the walls bearing witness to a frenzy that would shatter a life forged from the ashes of a broken path. The desert held its breath, its pulse a low, ominous thrum, as the trap sprang shut. What twisted path led her to this betrayal? And how did a man who defied his demons fall to a darkness he never saw coming? Riverside, California, July 29, 1977. The sun was a tyrant, its heat a hammer on the cracked pavement. Into this crucible, Travis Alexander was born, one of 8 siblings in a house where love was a ghost. His parents, enslaved by methamphetamine, were shadows, their highs a wall between them and their children. Travis, a boy of 10 with eyes that held too much, stood over a flickering stove, stirring watery soup for his siblings. Their hungry gazes burned into him. A can of Campbell's, a crust of moldy bread. Survival was a war, and Travis was its soldier. His mother slept for days, a husk on a stained couch, the air thick with despair. He learned early, trust only yourself. At 16, the chains snapped. The weight of his childhood was a noose, tightening with every breath. He packed a duffel bag, his heart pounding, and fled to his grandmother's house in Riverside. Her home was a haven, lavender-scented, hushed with hymns. A devout Mormon, she saw the ember in Travis's soul and offered him salvation, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. He seized it. Scriptures became his shield, services his sanctuary. Each prayer rebuilt him, brick by brick, until he was no longer the boy from a broken home. He was chosen, destined for more. High school faded like a bad dream. Travis embarked on a 2-year mission, a Mormon rite that tempered him in fire. He returned hardened, hopeful, his eyes set on Mesa, Arizona. The desert city shimmered with promise, its Mormon pulse beating beneath a relentless sun. At 21, Travis was a man with a mission. He joined prepaid legal services, later Legal Shield, a multi-level marketing empire thriving in Mormon circles. Travis wasn't just a salesman, he was a force. His charm disarmed, his grit inspired. As a motivational speaker, he owned the stage, voice steady, eyes blazing. "You can't choose your start," he'd declare, "but you damn well choose your end," crowds roared, captivated by a man who'd clawed his way from hell. By 29, Travis was a phoenix risen. He owned a stucco house in Mesa, its tiled roof gleaming under endless skies. Friends rented rooms, their laughter a heartbeat in the walls. His black pug, Napoleon, chased lizards in the backyard, yapping at the moon. Travis was writing Raising Me, a book to etch his journey into eternity. His blog burned bright online, raw and unfiltered, reaching thousands. Handsome, quick-witted, a flirt who lit up rooms, he was a star. Life was a dream, vivid and golden. But dreams cast shadows, and in the desert's heart, something dark was waking. Salinas, California, July 9, 1980. Jodi Arias entered the world, the eldest of 3, in a home that wore normalcy like a fragile mask. Beneath it, cracks formed fast. Middle school. Her parents found marijuana stashed in Tupperware on the roof. Jodi's rage was a wildfire. "They stole my soul," she scrawled in her diary, pen slashing the page. Trust was a casualty, buried at 13. High school, a new town. Jodi was a ghost, adrift in her own skin. Her diary bled loneliness, each word a scream no one heard. Her parents saw brilliance, but recoiled at her strangeness. Her father whispered of bipolar disorder, calm one moment, a venomous storm the next. Jodi owned no fault, her blame a poisoned arrow. Photography became her sanctuary. Behind the lens, she was God, shaping the world. Sunsets bled crimson. Stray dogs stared back. Strangers' faces froze in her frame. Each click was a rebellion against the void. At 24, Jodi chased love to Palm Desert with a boyfriend. The dream crumbled, leaving her restless, her camera her only constant. She joined prepaid legal services, selling plans with a quiet ferocity that unnerved and drew in. The desert was her canvas, cacti piercing the sky, rusted cars decaying in the heat. endless horizons taunting her. She was hunting for something, her heart a compass with no north. September 2006. Las Vegas. A prepaid legal conference pulsed with ambition, neon lights bleeding into the night. Jodi, 26, stood outside the Rainforest Cafe, camera slung low, eyes prowling the crowd. The air crackled, electric with possibility. Then he appeared. Travis Alexander. His smile was a blade, slicing through the chaos. "Hi, I'm Travis," he said, hand outstretched. Their gazes locked, the world held its breath. Sparks flew, witnesses swore, something primal, something faded. Over dinner they drowned out the din, their laughter a private universe. Travis was hooked, his heart racing. Jodi was a magnet, her intensity a pull he couldn't name. They talked until 4 a.m., sprawled on a hotel couch, the desert stars their only witness, whispering secrets of their own. Morning broke. Travis told his friends, "She's my forever." His pulse thundered. One flaw, Jodi wasn't Mormon. Faith was his bedrock. Could he bend it without breaking? They swapped numbers, parted, Mesa for him, Palm Desert for her. The thread between them stretched, taut, trembling with promise and peril. A storm was brewing, its shadow creeping closer. Jodi's Palm Desert boyfriend was a dead end. No marriage, no future, just a cage of wasted time. She cut him loose, her eyes locked on Travis. He saw her as a soul to save, a canvas for his faith. He sent her the Book of Mormon, urged her to church, sent missionaries to her door like emissaries of hope. "Feel it," he whispered over midnight calls, weaving scripture into their words. Jodi, steeped in Mormon colleagues, leaned closer. Was this her salvation, or something darker? Their romance roared to life, a wildfire no one could contain. 82,000 emails, a digital inferno that burned through the miles. Texts sizzled with forbidden heat. Mormon rules be damned. They stole vacations, chasing 1,000 places to see before you. Jodi's camera never stopped. Travis laughing on Mexican sands, their silhouettes carved against canyon walls. Moments frozen in a dream that felt too vivid to last. He called her kryptonite, his voice thick with shame, desire a blade in his chest. Sex was sin, but Jodi was a drug he couldn't quit. Her camera joined them in the bedroom, capturing secrets that burned too bright, their shadows lengthening with every flash. November 26, 2006. Baptismal waters. Travis stood beside Jodi, his hand steady as she plunged into faith. She was his, bound by God and desire, a vow sealed in sacred silence. February 2007. Official. Long distance, they devoured the miles with calls, emails, stolen weekends. Jodi haunted Mesa, staying at Travis's house, her presence a weight his roommates couldn't ignore. She trailed him. Kitchen, bathroom, phone. "Who's that?" She'd hiss, eyes slicing through his screen. She hacked his MySpace, devoured messages meant for others. Her jealousy a living thing. Friends whispered, their voices low. "She's a cage, Travis. She's not love. She's a trap." One night, Travis's bedroom door shut tight. Friends spoke in hushed tones, their words heavy with warning. "She's possessive. She'll destroy you." A friend smirked, voice barely a breath. "She's listening right now, I bet." Travis's heart thudded, a drumbeat of dread. He crept to the door, hand trembling, the silence screaming. He yanked it open. Jodi stood there, eyes wide, breath caught, her shadow swallowing the light. Silence choked the room, a noose tightening around them all. The trap was set. Could Travis break free, or was it already too late? The fracture split wide, a chasm no one could bridge. Friends begged Travis to see the truth, their voices raw with fear. "She's not right for you. She's obsession, not love." Jodi clung harder, her camera an unblinking eye, her presence a chokehold that tightened with every breath. She read his emails, shadowed his conversations, waited outside bathrooms like a sentinel of control. Travis tried to sever the cord. "We're done," he said, voice steel over the phone, his heart pounding with the weight of finality. "Don't call me again." Jodi's silence was a storm gathering strength. She wasn't gone. She never would be. Emails came, frantic, dripping with desperation. A stalker, she claimed, lurked outside her windows, his whispers slithering through the glass. "Leave Travis," the shadow hissed, "or else." "I'm terrified," she wrote, her words a plea that twisted Travis's heart. He worried, his protector's instinct flaring. His friends saw the lie, their voices sharp. "She's manipulating you," she wrote it herself. Jodi's world was crumbling. Her Palm Desert home was gone, sold under the crush of death. She told Travis he'd begged her to move to Mesa, to be near him. A lie, cold and calculated. She moved 10 minutes from his house, a specter in his world, her arrival unannounced, her intentions cloaked in shadow. She appeared at his door one night, smile sharp as a blade. eyes colder than the desert's midnight chill. "Surprise," she chirped, but her gaze was a warning. Travis froze, his pulse a frantic drum. Days later, he caught her at his window, watching him with another woman, her camera glinting in the moonlight. She slipped through his doggy door, cracked his lock code with ease, left relics of her presence, a hairbrush on the counter, a photo on his bed, a chill that lingered in the air. Travis sought refuge in Lisa, a gentle soul from his church, her kindness a balm to his wounds. But Jodi's wrath was a viper, coiled and ready. She hacked his accounts, read his flirty messages to Lisa, and struck with surgical precision. Knocks on Lisa's windows at midnight, sharp and insistent. Anonymous emails branding her a shameful whore. Slashed tires on Travis's car, the rubber torn like flesh. One night, Travis and Lisa watched a movie. The glow of the screen a fragile shield. Napoleon barked, frantic, his yaps slicing through the... Travis stepped outside, heart hammering, the desert air thick with menace. Jodi was there, camera dangling, eyes boring into him like daggers. "Why are you here?" he demanded, voice low, trembling with anger. "Just checking on you," she murmured, her voice soft, her gaze a blade. Lisa broke, her voice cracking. "I can't do this, Travis." She fled, tears streaming. Jodi's shadow loomed larger, a predator savoring its victory. Travis pushed Jodi back to California, to her grandparents' house, his voice firm but fraying. "Find yourself," he said. "Maybe friends, later." She went, but the calls didn't stop. Voicemails dripped with seduction, each one recorded. A secret weapon in her arsenal. Blackmail? Control? No one knew. Travis wavered, his faith a crumbling fortress, desire a tide pulling him under. Jodi was a storm, and he was drowning. The desert watched, its silence a warning no one heard. February 2008. Travis met Mimi at an LDS singles night, a beacon. She was his dream, kind, devout, pure, everything Jodi could never be. He planned a trip to Cancun, a chance to win her heart, to build a future free of shadows. But Jodi's calls clawed at him, each one a hook sinking deeper into his soul. Nay, a vicious email fight, words like knives. "You're a liar," Travis typed, fingers shaking with betrayal. Everything was a lie, never again. The cause was hidden, locked in their private war, but his rage was a wall, unyielding. He was done. Or so he thought. His blog became his confessional, a cry into the void. May 18th, 2008, "Why I Want to Marry a Gold Digger," a jest laced with dread. "Dating's a job interview," he wrote, his words heavy with portent. "You're trying to find out if an axe murderer's hiding in her heart." The post lingered, a chill in the desert heat, a prophecy no one saw. May 28, Jodi's grandparents' home, burgled. One item stolen, a .25 caliber handgun. Jodi reported it, her voice trembling, her eyes steady as stone. Suspicion stirred, a whisper in the shadows. June 2, Redding, California. Jodi rented a car, an hour from home, her movements deliberate. She rejected a red sedan, too loud, too visible. Took a white one, anonymous. Filled 2 gas cans, their weight a promise. Switched off her phone, the desert swallowed her whole. The clock was ticking, each second a step toward catastrophe. June 4th, 2008, Mesa burned under a merciless sun, the air thick with heat and secrets. Travis prepped for Cancun, his home humming with hope, his heart light with thoughts of Mimi. Jodi arrived, uninvited, her camera a silent witness, her presence a blade at his throat. The air crackled, heavy with unspoken dread. They spent the day together, her lens capturing moments too intimate, too fleeting, each click a countdown. Night fell, the desert holding its breath. Travis stepped into his shower, water cascading over him, a moment of vulnerability. Jodi raised her camera, her voice soft, deceptive. "One more shot," she said. He looked at her, eyes open, trusting, unaware of the abyss yawning before him. The flash burned white. Then, hell erupted. 27 stab wounds, each a scream of betrayal. A throat slashed ear to ear, blood pooling like a dark tide. A bullet to the skull, final and merciless. Jodi scrubbed the scene, her pulse a frantic drum, stuffing bedding and the camera into the washer, her hands trembling but deliberate. She thought she'd erased it all, outrun her sin. She was wrong. The camera's memory card was a traitor, holding her secrets in cold digital clarity. Photos time-stamped June 4th. Jodi, naked in Travis's home, her presence a violation. Travis, alive in the shower, water streaming, his eyes locked on her lens. Then, horror. Blurry shots, blood, a body crumpled, a leg in the frame, unmistakably hers. She fled to Utah, late to meet Ryan, her new target. She smiled, laughed, her mask flawless, as if the blood wasn't still on her hands. June 9, Travis missed a critical work call, a silence that screamed wrongness. Mimi's calls went unanswered, her worry a knot in her chest. Friends gathered, dread rising like a tide. They reached his house, the desert air heavy with menace. No response at the door. Garage code punched in, each beep a heartbeat. A stench hit them, metallic, wrong, the smell of death. The roommate, music blaring, was clueless, his face paling as their fear infected him. Travis's door, locked tight, a key turned, slow, deliberate. The smell choked them, a physical force. Blood stained the carpet, smeared the walls, a map of violence. In the shower, Travis lay, curled in the fetal position, his light extinguished. Mimi's scream shattered the silence, a wail that echoed through the desert. Police swarmed, their boots heavy on the floor. The desert's secret was clawing its way free, and it would not be silenced. Investigators moved like predators, their eyes sharp, their questions sharper. Friends pointed to Jodi, their voices unanimous, urgent. Her, the stalker Ek. She's the one. A handprint on the wall, Travis's blood mixed with Jodi's, screamed guilt, undeniable, a signature of her crime. The washer yielded a camera, its memory card a confession etched in pixels. June 4 photos. Jodi's face, naked and brazen in Travis's home. Travis's last moments, captured in the shower, his eyes trusting until they weren't. Blurry images of blood, a body, her leg in the frame. The gun, same caliber as her grandparents' stolen. The burglary a piece of her puzzle snapping into place. The net tightened, its strands unyielding. July 15th. Jodi's grandparents' home. Police stormed in, their presence a thunderclap. Her rental car held her secrets. Clothes packed for flight, 2 knives glinting with intent, a 9mm handgun, condoms, and freshly dyed brown hair, a disguise for a woman on the run. She smiled in cuffs, her eyes cold, her voice a lie. Detectives showed her the photos, their weight crushing. "Looks like me," she said, her tone flat, detached, a mask that didn't slip. She spun wild tales, ninjas bursting in, masked and deadly, a blackout that erased her memory, fear of retaliation that kept her silent. Lies piled on lies, each more desperate, each more hollow. At trial, she took the stand, tears streaming, her voice a trembling plea. Travis abused me, she claimed, her words a dagger aimed at his memory. He was a monster, a predator. She played recordings, twisted their context, accused him of unthinkable crimes, her accusations a poison that sickened the courtroom. Travis's family burned with rage, their grief a fire that would not be quenched. May 8, 2013, guilty, first-degree murder. Cheers erupted outside, a roar of justice. Sentencing was a spectacle, Jodi's cruelty on display. She wore a Survivor t-shirt, purple letters a cruel taunt. A knife twisted in the hearts of Travis's loved ones seated behind her. 2 juries deadlocked, their indecision a wound. A judge stepped in, her voice final, life without parole. Appeals rose and fell, crumbling like sand in the desert wind. Jodi vanished into a cell, her lies a fading scream, her name a curse. The desert buried her truth, but not her crime. The trial was a circus, the public ravenous. Crowds thronged the courthouse, their voices a chorus of outrage and fascination. Jodi's transformation was a performance. Frumpy clothes, glasses, a librarian's meekness. Her once vibrant hair dulled to a mousy brown. Was it a ploy, a mask to soften her guilt? Some believed her, drawn to her calm voice, her quiet insistence. Others saw the predator beneath, her eyes betraying the lie. The evidence was a noose, tightening with every photo, every timestamp, every drop of blood. Jodi's story shifted, ninjas, blackouts, abuse, monstrosity, each a desperate bid to escape the inevitable. The courtroom was a stage, and she played every part, but the truth was a spotlight she couldn't dim. Travis's blog remained online, a ghost of his voice. His final post, that chilling jest about an axe murderer, haunted those who read it. His book, unfinished, was a dream cut short. His friends, his family, his church, they carried his light, their memories a shield against the darkness Jodi cast. Napoleon, his pug, found a new home, but his absence echoed in the silence of Travis's house, now a tomb of memories. Jodi, in her cell, became a curiosity, a cautionary tale. Some wrote to her, men drawn to her infamy, their letters a twisted echo of her power. She moved between prisons, her location a secret, her existence a shadow. She claimed innocence, Her lies a mantra she believed, or pretended to. The desert kept her confined, its vastness a mirror to her emptiness. Travis Alexander was a supernova, a man who turned pain into purpose, despair into hope. His voice, his blog, his heart, they echo in the lives he touched, a legacy no darkness could erase. Jodi Arias, consumed by obsession, snuffed out a star too bright for her to bear. The desert hides many secrets, its sands swallowing truths and lies alike. But this truth broke free, a scream that could not be silenced. Rest in peace, Travis, and the light you fought so hard to find.